We can't say the future without AI. I mean, there's no way around it. 50% of workers now believe AI is going to improve their experience. When I come into the meeting room, I need a way to incorporate my AI with what's going on in the meeting. It's almost a bring your own AI type of a concept. Most of what we do in our day-to-day is going to change significantly.
Hear the latest AV trends and predictions in this episode of Crestron's Smarter Spaces podcast on your preferred podcast platform.
If you look at that multiple, you said 14 times, that's high. And that's it means that they're betting on the future and the profitability that QSC will bring to this organization.
Correct. And so 6 to 7 times is considered high. And you're talking about double that.
This is a journey into money. Loads of money.
QSC gets bought by Acuity. The Sphere heads to Abu Dhabi. And Crestron opens up a new experience center in New York. All that and more next on AV Week. This is AV Week, episode 688, recorded Friday, October 25th, 2024. Betting on the future. This is AV Week, the weekly wrap-up of the biggest AV news and information we have gathered. My name is Tim Albright. I am your host. With us to discuss those news and information pieces. First and foremost, my buddy Steve Greenblatt. How are you, sir? He's from Control Concepts.
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, and look forward to this conversation.
Absolutely. Also with us is an old friend, Michael Braithwaite. Michael is now with Modern Atomics. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. So as luck would have it, and as I've said this a couple of different times, the way this program works is I pull stories on like Tuesday. I send it to everybody and say, hey, assuming nothing happens in the next couple of days, these are the stories that we're going to do. And every once in a while, a story comes up like this one. Acuity Brands announced this week its acquisition of QSC. That's right, the makers of Q-SYS, in a deal that is valued at $1.2 billion with a B dollars. Costa Mesa, California-based QSC, which reported sales of approximately $535 million over the past year, they will be integrated into Acuity's Intelligent Spaces Group as part of a strategic move, quote unquote, to enhance smart building capabilities. QSC's chairman and CEO Joe Pham emphasized the merger's potential to advance AV technology in various experience settings, while Acuity expects the acquisition priced at roughly 14 times QSC's estimated earnings before taxes to positively impact its fiscal 2025 earnings. According to SEC filings, the deal includes approximately $100 million in expected tax benefits, as well as a $600 million loan Acuity is taking out. Acuity brands include lighting control, building management, smart building companies. They are traded on the New York Stock Exchange. And as of this recording, there had been very little movement in the stock price after the announcement in the last 36 hours since then. Greenblatt, we're going to start with you. Mergers and acquisitions, we say that there's a season to them, and if there is, this is the fall season of M&A, and what a one to kick off. So what does this say about the industry overall?
It says that there's a lot of future potential, because if you look at that multiple, you said 14 times, that's high, and that's it means that they're betting on the future and the profitability that QSC will bring to this organization and the opportunities that are going to be had in the AV industry. So I think this is all very positive news in that regard. I think that there's some things that to think about and understand as we move forward, and we have to see how things pan out. Usually, I think you say this often, and I've heard other people say it, that it takes about a year for these things to settle in. So we'll see what changes occur after that. Let's hope. I mean, we were all very excited about some of the, to call out one of them, Harman and AMX, and I'm not sure if that necessarily was a positive from the perspective of those who were AMX fans. So I'm hoping that this is something that's going to help to fuel QSC and help to fuel the opportunities that people that rely on QSC are going to see. One thing from an individual standpoint and from my company standpoint is I hope that they continue to be an open ecosystem and they continue to look to integrate with other products rather than trying to own the whole project or close off opportunities to integrate with other external systems.
Part of the press release said that they expect to finalize the deal third quarter, so you're looking at July, August of 2025. That means that in the short term, as Steve said, you're going to see them at ISC in 2025, right? Barcelona in February. Certainly we'll see them at InfoComm in Orlando in 2025 After that, it really is nobody really knows. And I'm not going to sit here and pontificate. I'm not going to sit here and throw stones. I'm just going to say simply, in 12 months, that is when we will really kind of see the any sort of changes that Acuity will make to QSC and to the staffing. Sitting here right now, there's a lot of friends, personal friends, people I've known for years. I wish them the best, and I hope this is the best thing for them. But none of us know, not even Joe Pham, who I think the world of. He doesn't even know what's going to happen after 12 months from now, because simply put, he will no longer be kind of in charge because he's not the CEO of Acuity. That's not a disparaging statement. It's more just kind of a fact. In 12 months, we will kind of see where this is going to move. Braithwaite, same kind of question. You're looking at mergers and acquisitions. This is not your first rodeo. What do you think this says about the industry?
I have a lot of thoughts about this. Some of them are personal because I've been through on both sides of that, where my company has been acquired, and I've also been the company acquiring. When Clear One acquired NetStreams, they like what you said, Tim. They kind of left us alone for 12 months or so, and we were still at all of the same shows and all that. But unfortunately for NetStreams, it changed quite a bit after that. And what changed was the investment of the new product going forward and things like that. Sometimes you don't know why, the multiple that Steve brought up and that's published, that's a high multiple. And so it usually means
so folks understand this. If you've never gone through a merger and acquisition, you've never really paid attention. A typical merger and acquisition, you're looking at between 3 and 5 times earnings before taxes, and it's called EBITDA, right? And the acronym is EBITDA. Roughly, it means earnings before taxes and amortization and some other stuff.
correct. And so 6 to 7 times is considered high, and you're talking about double that. And so it could be intellectual property, it could be software, it could be actually engineering teams that you don't exactly, to Tim's point, you're not exactly sure what that is. When I first heard this news, I actually thought they were going to be joined in with the business lighting, the commercial lighting group, which made a lot of sense. And it does make sense on the space, intelligent spaces division as well. To be honest, a lot of people probably in North America aren't as familiar with Acuity or the lighting brands or things like that. The guy who's running the intelligent spaces, that's Peter Hahn. And one thing that you may want, if you're really interested in this, he wrote a book, and the book was called Nobodies to Somebodies. And he went around and talked to all these different tech, anybody who started a big company and it became big. So it's an interesting look on the guy. He's the president of that division that QSC now is in. And so I have mixed feelings with this. I'm hoping, because as Tim mentioned, there's so many people we know, so many companies, there's so much that this impacts. I'm sure some of the competitors are very interested in this, and that'll be things that'll be talked about in your shows for probably months to come. So,
really quickly about that, and there's 2 correlations here. Steve brought up one of them, and that is the Harman generically and Samsung deal. This is not throwing stones, AMX was kind of put on the back burner for a number of years when that acquisition happened. Now, AMX was part of a larger property, and Samsung had to do their due diligence after the fact and kind of go through, okay, this is what we've got, this is what we really bought. So AMX was kind of put over here on the sideline. Not good, not bad. It was what it was. And in the last couple of years, especially this last Infocom, it feels like AMX is kind of making a resurgence. Like it's almost like Samsung finally got around to going, holy cow, we've got this control system. Let's put some R&D in it. And that's a bit unfair to Samsung and to Harman, and I understand that. But they did do a lot of R&D through the pandemic, through 2021, 22. And so the AMX and Harman as a whole they're seeing some of the fruits of that. This acquisition, it's the entire thing, right? It's not like QSC is a part of something else. They bought QSC. And yes, QSC and Q-SYS they've attempted to separate those a bit over the years from the speaker and amplifier side to the software side, the control side. But it is one company. So, the equivalence there is not exact as when you're looking at the AMX and the Harman deal. The other part of that, though, is that 14 times, to Mike's point, that 14 times EBITDA is significant. And some of the folks that I've been reading the last 24 hours, quite frankly, is looking at the software side of what Q-SYS has been able to produce and their recurring revenue and their software forward business. And that is something that the industry at large has been pushing towards. And, I've Joe Pham and the team there are certainly kind of able to recoup and harvest that move. So it'll be interesting. I will tell you this, and I'll put this kind of in the back of Mitchell's brain. In 12 months, so October, November of 2025, I want to revisit this, and we'll take a look back, and we'll see who was right and who was way off.
Just a couple of notable things there too. One is that they had been really hiring a very formidable talent base, and I wonder how much that came into play. And then the second part is, as you mentioned about the professional audio, where does that fit in? And I'm curious to see what they make of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Next story comes to us from Innovate. Sphere Entertainment has revealed plans to construct its second iconic entertainment venue in Abu Dhabi, UAE, marking the very first international expansion of the revolutionary concept following the successful launch of the Las Vegas Sphere in September 2023. The new venue, which will mirror its predecessor's 20,000-seat capacity, will be developed in partnership with Abu Dhabi's Department of Culture and Tourism, DCT, as part of the Emirates Tourism Strategy 2030. I would encourage you to go look up the Emirates Strategy 2030. It is fascinating. The artwork that they're putting out, the concepts they're putting out are mind-boggling. Under the agreement, DCT Abu Dhabi will pay a franchise fee for the rights to build the venue using Sphere's proprietary technology and designs, while Sphere Entertainment provides expert guidance throughout the development. Executive Chairman and CEO James Doolan emphasized this expansion as a quote-unquote crucial step toward creating a global network of Sphere venues. Hold on to that for a second. Mike, we're going to start with you on this. What will be the long-term impact of a global network of Sphere and Sphere-like venues on AV and on AV projects?
Well, I mean, it's pretty fascinating. I think it means that there might be some additional format even because they have some capabilities that are frankly not available to most type of venues. And obviously it's a spectacular venue for events.
It's a wonder. Let's just say it what it is. It is a wonder. And I have no stock in MSG. I have no dog in this fight, as it is to say. But that sucker's amazing.
It's kind of like how you if you've looked at like IMAX versus like before IMAX, and you just had a traditional theater, and then the IMAX experience was so much better. And this is like tenfold past that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's such a. But there is an interesting aspect to that. Abu Dhabi, they have to compete with Dubai, and Dubai is
Well, they also have to compete with Saudi Arabia too.
exactly. Well, and even Doha, and so
Yeah.
all of these locations that are nearby. So, like in Vegas, for example, there really isn't another competitor, so to speak. Reno,
They've
people in
got
Reno might
Reno.
be
Come
shouting.
on.
People in Reno definitely throwing things at the screen right now, but I mean, there's such a drop off from that, and so Abu Dhabi has that problem. It meaning the attention goes to Dubai, they've been not just Spear, but they've been slowly trying to break out so that hey, we're over here and doing this, and it's kind of similar to in distance. If you're familiar with Las Vegas or Nevada, in Las Vegas, if you went up the I-15, there's a town right on the border called Mesquite. That's the same distance as from Abu Dhabi from Dubai. So that's showing you how far away that is. And it would be like and there are some casinos in Mesquite. It would be like a Sphere going in Mesquite, to try to pull away from that. The it's going to be fascinating to watch. I'm very pleased with it because I think that it does present really interesting opportunities.
Greenblatt, same question, dude. What does this do to the overall kind of environment of the global AV space?
The easy answer is that it creates more awareness, and I think the AV industry has been hanging their hat on the sphere for some time. I mean, we were able to take a win during the pandemic, and how the AV industry really helped to facilitate communications then, and where video calling became mainstream, if you will. But here's where an entertainment venue now can be pointed to say, if you want to be a part of this, this is the industry for you. And I think, as both you and Mike pointed out, there's it just is amazing things that they've been doing there, and it's a must see attraction, and I think the opportunities are only going to grow, and the creativity that they're going to do with it, and the acts and the experiences that they're going to provide there are just going to continue to be varied and amaze everyone. So I mean, I think I'm sure, as you guys pointed out, that Las Vegas is going to lose some traffic with another one existing, but
really, I mean, a serious question here, and I say this as a big dumb American in the middle of the country, right? I'm in St. Louis, on the shores of the Mississippi. If somebody's considering going to the Sphere in the U.S., do you think that they're going, you know what, let me flip a coin between Abu Dhabi and Vegas?
I think it's the opposite. It's
okay.
Those coming to the U.S. that want to go to the Sphere.
Got it.
And making Las Vegas more of an attraction, and refreshing Las Vegas to people, and making it more than just what it's known as traditionally.
I did mention the fact that this is the second one. MSG Sphere is looking at doing these globally. They've had a couple of issues, and I will try to pull up the story, and I'll give it to Mitchell to put a link to. But they're having a devil of a time in England, in the UK, getting one of these up, and it is they are fighting with the city. It's not London; it's a town right outside of London that they're trying to get the permission to put one up there as well. But yeah, Doolin is really trying to push these on a global scale. Last story actually comes to us from us, and quite frankly from me. Crestron has unveiled a cutting-edge flagship experience center in New York City. This is not the first time Crestron's done this. They had one, and during the pandemic, of course, like everything else, they kind of shuttered that one. This one is in the Design Center on Lexington. It's showcasing the quote-unquote future of smart living and workplace technology. The Broadway-themed facility features rooms named after iconic shows like Hamilton, Wicked, and Rent. It demonstrates Crestron's latest innovations in both residential and commercial automation through an immersive hands-on environment. The center includes 26 miles of cable, of network cable. Also features Crestron's DM NVX AV over IP platform. Dan Feldstein, CEO, emphasized the importance of experiencing technology firsthand. The space integrates products from partners including Sennheiser, Shure, Sony, LG, and Netgear, highlighting Crestron's partnership. Steve, this is in your backyard, just over the river from you. How should people use experience centers like this? Whether they're customers, they're integrators, they're programmers, how should folks use spaces like this?
The best way to describe it is the experience as it's labeled, is to be able to show the products in use. And I think we're seeing more of that in every trade show that we go to. No longer is it okay just to have black boxes on a shelf, but you need to see how they're actually implemented and experience them. I think showing the solution and being able to give somebody an opportunity to see how they could fit and what they could get from a Crestron branded experience is really what the intent is here. What I think is also interesting is that it could provide meeting spaces for people that are in New York that a lot of times need some place to go when they're going to be able to get together. And I mean, it's really a great idea to be able to attract an audience, because if you don't have to convince people that work in the city, to actually have to come out to New Jersey and go to experience it. So I think that's all great. If I were to have like a wish list of something that might be interesting, is have almost like a workshop area or something that could be, future systems or something new and innovative that could be experienced, I think would be neat as well.
It's so funny you say that. So that is the Wicked Room, if memory serves correctly, and this was a week ago. The Wicked Room has 5 displays on the around the edge of it, a ginormous counter surrounding the room, and they've got little plugins that and drawers full of existing equipment and stuff coming down the pipeline. So they do have some of that little future showing stuff. But yeah, it is a cool space. Braithwaite, same kind of question. Whether that's New York or LA or points in between, how should customers and how should integrators leverage spaces like this?
I think they should take huge advantage of that, because the end users and the clients that they're working with, and even the other professionals, the architects and some of the builders and so forth, it's a great place because it's executed so well. And it has so many different vignettes, so many different elements. So no matter what project they're working on, if they bring them over, because in a way, there's some insulation there. It's like a galvanic demo system there, right? Because the truth is, anybody can do whatever they want, but now you're walking into this experience center, and it's somewhat agnostic. It's somewhat, I mean, yes, it's Crestron, of course, and all of that's true. But when they're bringing a client through and they're experiencing these things, they're going to get ideas that they didn't even know about. And so I think if you are working out of New York, New Jersey, anywhere around this location, I I would take advantage of it as much as possible, just because it will land the sell for, and in fact, it will expand what is there. So I haven't been there in person, but just all the things that Tim has shown and all the different people have had videos and talking about, it's just really executed so well.
Yeah, it really is. And one of the things Steve mentioned, it's easier to get folks into, Midtown as it is to get out to Jersey. One of the other things that CEO Dan Feldstein said was, this is the appetizer, right? This experience is the appetizer. Once their whistle is wetted, as it was, then we can bring them out to New Jersey and show them everything, right? Show them all the things. So I thought that was a really good analogy.
And I have to say, I'm not knocking New Jersey because that's where I live. So you please come out
It's what it
and
sounded like
visit.
to me. It sounded like Steve Greenblatt was 100% knocking New Jersey. I want that on the record.
I try to let everybody know we don't pump our own gas, so
That is the weird thing about New Jersey. That is I think you guys in Washington State are the two states that you still can't pump your own gas, which is fine. Whatever. I don't care. Just anyhow, gentlemen, thank you so much. Mike Braithwaite from Modern Atomics. Thank you, sir. How do people connect with you or Modern Atomics?
Best way is Mike at modernatomics.com, and we'd love to hear from you.
All right. Mr. Greenblatt, how do people connect with you, and how do they hear your lovely dulcet tones on several podcasts?
Of course. Easy way to reach me is at Steve Greenblatt on social media. I've been very active on LinkedIn recently. My company, Control Concepts, at controlconcepts.net, and we're also on LinkedIn as well there. As you mentioned, I have the honor of hosting the Control Programming and Automation podcast on AVNation called The State of Control with my partner, Rich Vergoza. We've been doing that for quite some time and enjoy that. So please reach out if you want to learn more about it or want to be a guest. And we talk about a lot of evergreen topics having to do with control and programming. And I also do a podcast with James King called Ask the Programmer. And it's a little bit of a different format, but same topics. So.
Steve is too kind to himself. He doesn't give himself enough credit. The only reason A State of Control exists is because of Steve Greenblatt. He sends me an email and he's like, hey, I think we should do a podcast about programming. Okay. And now he's doing it 100%. So my name is Tim Albright. Don't follow me anywhere because I will complain about the Bears, especially on Twitter. And yes, I will still complain about the Bears because if you ever watch American football, of all the years for the Bears to be halfway decent, they are in the middle of a incredibly difficult NFC North division where all four of those teams are formidable. So, unlike Steve's New York Giants. But if you really want to see me write something, I am doing stuff on LinkedIn as well, so you can follow me there. But go by the website if you would, please, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv. You will find this program, Steve's program, and a brand new Women in AV with our friend Gina Sansevero from Atlas IED and Wave It on there that just dropped today, so you can check that out. For those of you watching on YouTube, and if you're tired of looking at us, you can just listen to us. Go to wherever you listen to your podcast and subscribe to AVWeek. If you're listening to it and you want to know what Greenblatt looks like, you can find these fine folks and watch them on YouTube. So either way, go to the other direction if you're, either way, YouTube or your favorite podcatcher. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, as all the time we have for AV Week.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AV Nation.
This is AV Nation.
Hi, this is Jennifer Goodyear
and Erica Carroll
from the Women in AV podcast, where we are encouraged by the incredible stories of women in AV.
Listen in on fun, empowering conversations as we chat with inspiring women, breaking barriers and creating their own path in the industry.
Check out Women in AV on avnation.tv or wherever you get your podcasts.